Now, the reason I got that picture behind me to showing people what you're gonna be going through if you decide to get back in trouble. That's a prison in Russia. They call it the Russian Alcatraz. Anybody from the 60s, 70s, early 80s for Alcatraz got shut down in the state of California up by San Francisco, people know it was a notorious federal institution. Now, I always tell people when I get on here and make the lives, I tell you the worst part of prison because it's nothing fun about prison. I don't care about you lifting weights. I don't care about you being in a gang. I don't care about your religion. Prison is not fun. Prison is not a place that you want to spend the rest of your life. So we got to stop glamorizing that street culture. Cause everybody that went to prison that I know, that was a thug, that was a gangster, that was a G, that was a leader, that was a kingpin. They were depressed and sad. They was hurt. They was angry. They was upset because all the trials and tribulations you go through. Looking at your case, looking at what you've been told on, family not looking out for you, not seeing your children, children growing up. You know, you're trying to raise them over the phone. Children being disrespectful on the phone. You can't do anything about it. Uh, the women that you admired and loved and cared about that you took care of, they with the next man with the biggest bag. You know, cause if you hustling and you making a lot of money on the street, your woman or your wife is accustomed to that lifestyle. So when you leave, she gonna find the next dude with the biggest bag. And then if you're a major player in your city, every guy wants yours. You know, isn't guys out there who didn't even like you. It's just the thrill that said he got with your girl. So if he got to pay to get it, he gonna pay to get it. So that lifestyle, she ain't gonna try to leave. Then some girls wake up and leave that lifestyle because they don't want to put themselves in a situation where they might be indicted or unalive. So they get a job, you know, they get a trade, they go to school, you know, they get in the medical field, whatever. But when you sitting in that prison cell, realizing that these people when they trick you off the streets, it's funny because they sitting there like, yeah, we got this for. We didn't even have to do an investigation. The people on the streets did the investigation for us. Now we got him. They using very limited resources to catch your butt because nobody practice not getting caught. Only time you practice not getting caught is somebody call you on the phone and say, hey man, hey fam, I need two of them things. From the time he call you to the time you get in and try to drop it off, that's the only time you paranoid and not thinking about getting caught. So you're gonna take all the precautions. You're gonna look through your mirror. You're gonna not go to speed limit. You're not gonna be smoking your bud because you don't want to get pulled over, and you smell like weed and get probable cause. That's the only time. But the government, they practice 7 days a week, 365, 24 hours a day to catch you. They don't even take the holidays off. They might have certain people in the agency that take the holidays off, but somebody is working and their job is to catch you. They're getting paid six figures. They highly educating the feds and the CIA and the DA. So they're gonna outsmart you. And they know that you don't have an education, you had limited resources to stop them from catching you, and you only think about not getting caught for a quick 5 to 10 minutes where you tell a person to meet you somewhere. That's why you see nobody who ever been great, who ever been in the game, ever beat the game. You're not going to beat the game. Period. Big Meech in jail. Pablo Escobar in jail. Unalive. The Ochoas went to jail. Now you got his sons, El Chapo in jail. His son, and one of the biggest drug leaders in the world, he just got locked up. He was out there for 40 years free. But now you get locked up after 40 years of hustling, made billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars with your butt could have been out the game 35 years ago. 'Cause after 5 years, they were close to billionaires. You could have been out the game, invest that money, and live the rest of your life on the street. Now, your money out here with somebody else. Somebody else going to spend all your money. You lost your power, and you're going to die in prison. That ain't the way to go out. And I tell you guys, no matter what you do in the streets, you do not want to die in prison. You don't want to be that one talking about what you used to do when the little youngsters coming in. Oh man, I did this, man, I ran this. I was like this, man, I'm an OG, I'm a blah, but dude, you're in jail with me. And I'm about to go home, and you not. So what is that glamorizing by saying what you used to do and the rest of your life gonna be in prison and die? And people gonna spend your money. You hustle to make somebody else rich. Cause when you go to jail, they gonna spend your money. So you got to start telling yourself, is it worth me getting in trouble? Is it worth me hustling? Because I've seen some of the greatest hustlers in my life in jail. I was in there with Philadelphia crime boss, Skinny Joy Molino. I was in there with Gene Gotti. I was in there with Ronnie Bump. I was in there with Supreme. I was in there with Dapper Dan. I was in there with Bush Jones, Skinny, Farad, Kenny High, Pretty Tone. It was a lot of people I was locked up with that are very successful. Joe Goff, Hawkins. And you want to put yourself in that situation, Dwayne and Doc Davis. That's just to name a few. So you want to put yourself in that situation and think you can beat the system. You can't. So it ain't no need for me to get on here and preach to you fellas about not being locked up in that building back there. Because that building got a bed for you. And I hate to hear people talking about it's overcrowded. Like I was telling people 2 years ago, maybe 3, when we were getting on PPP loans. Now, mind you, I have a legit business. I got both of the loans. And both of mine been taken care of by the government and by the banks. I don't owe anything on them 2 PPP loans I got. So when people come in here talking about getting a PPP loan, and I said, do you have a business? Well, I just started one. And they did some fraud stuff. Now they don't think that the government coming to get them. Now you didn't sit here and took all these people money just to buy some 1942, buy some clothes, to go on some trips, to show your wild on social media, buy a designer handbag or backpack, buy some rims. Some people bought a car, they still got a car note on. And some girls I know that went out there got a fake gluteus maximus, which is a butt, and a break fake boobs. Some people got their teeth done. Now, all that stuff you did for nothing, because the government is not going to let you take their money. It ain't going to happen. Nobody is slick in the government. The government are thieves themselves. So you really think the government going to say, okay, I'm going to let y'all take this money, and I ain't going to do nothing about it? It happened with Hurricane Katrina. I know some people who got indicted for the Hurricane Katrina situation also. They took their money. They were having the money sent here saying they were displaced because of Hurricane Katrina. They were using dead people's names, and they got them. They all went to the feds. And someone went to the feds in his late 60s, early 70s. So they coming. It depends on the time they coming. Then your president, Mr. Biden, the one that everybody loves, and Kamala Harris, they made an extension with no stature or limitation on the PPP loans. And they hire, I think, about 10,000 plus more agents to catch people for the fraud and tax evasion. So you don't think they're going to get you? It's just a matter of time. Because I be online, I read the news every day, and I look at the news. All around the country, they picking people up slowly and slowly. They getting the big fishes, the one to million, then they're going to work down to the one to 6 figures, then they're going to go down to the one to 5 figures, and so forth. Because they even got a list out there. Go online, put PPP loan fraud in, and it come up. Then once it come up, put your state in there. Then once you put your state in there, it'll come up where you put your city. Put your city, and they have everybody's name on there who on the fraud list. I've seen so many people in my city on that fraud list, and I'm looking at them like, damn, you on a fraud list. You know you're on a fraud list. You got a letter saying you're investigating a fraud, and you still ain't trying to take care of that business. Say, write them a letter, say I made a mistake. Start giving them some money every week when you get paid, or if you got a job, or every month. Show them that you're making a step to do the right thing because you made a bad decision. So when you do go to court, the judge will say, well, I know you made a bad decision, you messed up, and you got the wrong information, so we're going to give you a slap on the wrist. But you just don't do anything, the government going to tear you up, because the government do not play, and the government will find beds. When I got out in 2005, it was extremely overcrowded. But they constantly building new prisons. So they would stack people in rooms and rooms and rooms. It used to be 2-man room, then they put up the 4-man room. Then like some of the TV rooms, they took the TVs out of there and made them beds. So they don't care about it being overcrowded, because overcrowded means more money, more jobs, more overtime. So it's a win-win for the federal government. So when people do crime, they don't really care, because by you doing a crime, they win. And I don't want to try to steer people away from doing criminal activity, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you be in jail for the rest of your freaking life. So I'm going to cut this short. Come by to hit my page on TikTok. Y'all can follow me on TikTok at the Axel Dental Investor 419 Axel Dental Investor. Romania versus Russia. Hoorah! So y'all be safe out there, man. Really think about what y'all doing, and then y'all got to start learning the laws. Most people who do a criminal activity only think that you got to get caught. No, it's such thing called a conspiracy and a RICO, and all conspiracy abated 848 whatever. Just make sure that you know the laws. So when you put yourself in a situation, you know what come behind that. You know what I'm saying? So every action is reaction. So make sure when you decide to do a crime that you know exactly what you're putting yourself into. If not, they're gonna be disheartening and they're gonna be sad. They're gonna be very bad when they come and knock on that door and you got a life sentence and you crying to your mama she ain't coming. Peace out. Oh.